Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. How are you today? It is Thursday, April 20th, 2017. This is what's going on, and I want to cover a bunch of things for you. Let's start off with this. It's early here on the west coast of the United States when I'm doing this video, so things can change throughout the day. But a few things are going on that I want to talk about right now. And I've been kind of outlining this throughout the entire week and keeping you up to date on how this is playing out. Let's start off with this. As I am doing this video blog, the stock market is higher. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up about 50 points, nothing major. The market is trying to find some direction here, but there is a missing piece I want to talk about, which is going to affect precious metals as well, and it may seem kind of counterintuitive to you, so just bear with me here. So I've been talking about the bond market a lot lately here, and if you've been following this blog, even just over the past week, you've witnessed how important the relationship is between the 10-year yield and what the stock market is going to do. The 10-year yield, as I am doing this video blog, is nudging higher. Stock market's going higher with it. You see the relationship here. Now, the US dollar is still remaining under some pressure, so there's the missing link in this whole thing, along with crude oil, which I want to talk about too. Now, bear with me on this one here, because this is going to probably sound, again, counterintuitive. There are many people out here who even comment on this blog who believe that in order to see precious metals move higher, we need to see a weaker dollar. Well, just to put a perspective on that, the dollar is weaker today and precious metals are weaker as I am doing this. So you have to understand, when people are talking in generalities, that may play out to be true, but not all the time. Nothing is ever written in stone. So I want you to get that out of your mind. You do not, and I want to stress that point, do not, underlined, okay, need a weaker dollar for precious metals to go higher. Okay, you have to look at the overall picture of what's going on here. And I'm telling you that in this environment that we're in right now, we need to see the dollar gain some strength to see metals go higher. We also need that to see the stock market go higher. So although the bond market right now, there is some cash coming out of the bond market, and you see the yield going up, and that is a nice boost for the stock market. We need to see the dollar gain some strength here for both precious metals and the stock market to move higher. So the lesson behind this little segment I just did is forget the general relationship between what people believe the dollar has to do and metals have to do, will do. It's not true all the time, and it is not true right now. All right? So forget that out of your head, and you'll be a lot better off. If you're fixated on dollar strength or weakness as to what metals are going to do, forget about it. Look, I'm going to outline this real quick. We understand, you and me, and if you don't understand this, you need to reevaluate a lot of things. The global debt problem is going to get exponentially worse moving forward. What does that mean for you? It means you need to be betting against this debt. You need to be holding a hard asset. You need to become your own central bank. These are long-term investments, something I've been talking about for literally years, okay? And there's a lot of people that write to me who are holding the hard asset that are waiting for it to turn around tomorrow. Well, if that's your mentality, you are not in the right spot. Whoever you may be. You want to see some quick action? Well, then you need to be trading the derivative. You shouldn't be holding the hard asset. So get that out of your head too. Now, crude oil. Crude oil took a beating yesterday. The market took a beating with it yesterday. I covered some of what was going on with IBM and stuff like that yesterday. But crude oil is a major factor with regard to the markets. The energy sector is dependent on crude oil, the price of crude oil being high. You understand? And they will push it back up higher. Believe me, they're going to find a reason to do it. A rumor, a fire somewhere, a perceived escalation of wars, whatever they got to do to push it higher. So don't worry about it. Crude oil is going to go higher. I'm not saying it's going up today or tomorrow, but it's going to go higher. It's going to pull the market with it. You understand? It's so simple. The other dynamic I want to talk about, and this is really important, okay? I had outlined earlier in this week how I believe we were going to see cash move into tech. Now, if you were following the market yesterday, tech outperformed the other major indices, sectors, and I think that's going to continue. So we're going to see more cash move into tech. So start looking at, again, stocks like Apple. And again, follow my stock picks on my website, traderschoice.net. Click on the money page. I'm going to be putting some new stuff up there. So let's just recap real quick here. I know it's been kind of confusing possibly. So as I am doing this, the stock market is a little bit higher. It's trying to gain some traction. I'm not sure where it's going to end the rest of the day. And why? Because the dollar is still weaker here. The bond market, cash is coming out of the bond market now. This is nudging that 10-year yield higher. This is one element that's important. We need to see some strength here in the dollar to get a sustainable rally in both precious metals and the stock market. Okay, so again, recap. Stop thinking about that supposed relationship that's fist-fed to you by the mainstream media, all right? The mainstream financial channels want you to believe the dollar has to be weaker for precious metals to go up. It's a complete falsehood, okay? Stop. Now, there's our missing link. We need to see crude oil go up in price. It's going to. At one point, I don't think it's going much lower here. I think there's going to be some pressure on crude oil. It's probably going to drop, but I don't think anything dramatic. But we need to see that turn around too. You got it? Cash moving into tech. Said this would happen. More than likely, it looks like it is happening. So what I would suggest doing here from a trading standpoint is getting some capital ready, keep it on the side, and wait for some of these dynamics to change. You got it? There's no reason why you should never, okay? I don't care what people you're going to hear from the mainstream financial channels or some fund manager that they're fully invested all the time. You know, if someone is fully invested all the time, that means they're not holding any capital reserves. And you need to have capital reserves to allocate into positions that maybe you want to average into. I talk about this in my free brief. It's 100% free. So if you don't have a copy of my free brief, even if you're not a market participant, there's something wrong with you. There's nothing ever wrong with gaining some knowledge here. If you want a copy of my free brief, first of all, I must be close to 200,000 free copies that I've given away. So a lot of you are smart enough to have a copy of it. So stop thinking you know everything. Look, I don't know everything. I far from knowing everything, and I'm no smarter than anybody else. I just study this stuff constantly, so maybe that gives me an edge here. So do yourself a favor, go to my website, traderschoice.net, or there's a link in the description of this video. You can download my free brief, which will outline some of this for you into a concept that you can understand, and why you should never, and I can't underline that enough, be fully invested in the stock market. You need to have capital reserves, okay? Same thing with regard to precious metals here. You should be averaging into these. This is what I've been doing for almost years that I can't even think about. Again, I've been buying silver since it was, I don't know, maybe it was, I don't even think it was $8 when I started buying this stuff. And I bought all the way up, and I've been buying all the way down, and I'm going to continue to do the same thing, and I've been doing the same thing with gold. This is what you need to do over time. This is what you're investing in this. You're not trading it, okay? Look, I know this is getting kind of wordy, but I think I covered a lot of important things here. Hope this has been important to you. Again, get yourself a copy of my free brief. You know what? It's probably going to disappear at one point. You know how I am. So if you don't have a copy and you're waiting for the last minute and you miss it, and I don't care how many times you write to me and say you want it, I'm not going to send it to you, because I'm telling you right now where you can get it for free. So don't wait. It's just frankly too stupid. I don't know why people do these things. Anyway, link in the description of this video and in the comments section. With that said, let's see how all this plays out. See you tomorrow. Over now. Seem kind of counterintuitive to you, so just bear with me here. So I've been talking about the bond market a lot lately here, and if you've been following this blog, even just over the past week, you've points, nothing major. The market is trying to find some direction here, but there is a missing piece I want to talk about, which is going to affect precious metals as well, and it may seem most of the United States when I'm doing this video, so things can change throughout the day. But a few things are going on that I want to talk about right now, and I've been kind of outlining this. Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. How are you today? It is Thursday, April 20th, 2017. This is what's going on, and I want to cover a bunch of things for you. Let's start off with this. It's early here on the West Coast throughout the entire week, and keeping you up to date on how this is playing out. Let's start off with this. As I am doing this video blog, the stock market is higher. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up about 50